I transferred from Mount St. Joe to Milford Mill Academy. I played running back, and I'm going to UPenn.
What made you choose UPenn?
UPenn is a very good school for education. I wanted to make sure even if I didn't go the pro route, I wanted to be set up in a way where I'd still be good financially.
Do you know what your major will be at UPenn?
Criminology.
Why criminology?
I don't know. I've always been in the law route around that area. I took forensics junior year, and I was like, man, that's pretty cool. So I wanted to surround myself somewhere around that place. Make the world a better place.
Understood. Are there any current pro NFL players that you look up to?
One person that I always look up to is like Christian McCaffrey because he's like versatile like I am, and it kind of makes me want to work on my game to get better and more versatile.
Any specific team that you look up to or admire?
I've always liked the Ravens. It's always been it's like a hometown thing for me, and you don't really go against the grain. So that's pretty much who I've been with my whole life.
Same here. I don't know much about football, but I will rep the Ravens till I die. A hidden talent that you had.
A hidden talent? A lot of people say I'm really quiet, so they don't really think I'm really funny. But once I really talk, people really notice that I'm a really funny person. Like, I don't know why. I don't really be seeing myself as that funny because I be like really serious, but everybody else sees me as the comedic guy.
Does that kind of play into how you act on the field too? You're silent, but you're a dog on the field, kind of like a silent killer.
Nah, cause it's like when I'm on the field, I'm real quiet. Like a lot of people like to trash talk and all that, but I'm one of them people that be quiet and really focus into the game.
That's good. That is good. So, when did you start playing football?
When I was 4 years old.
When?
It's actually a crazy story because at first I didn't really like it, and my father was about to pull me out, but my mother always told him to keep me there. I used to cry. I used to be like I wanted to go home, but then my mother always told me because my father one time actually told me to take off my stuff and go home, but my mother forced me to stay on the field. So ever since I was 4 years old, I've been playing that game.
So other than your mom, was there any other factors that motivated you to stay with football?
To stay now, it is my father because I know my father really enjoys watching me play. And it really motivates me to keep going.
Were you good when you were 4 years old? Or when did you start feeling like, okay, this is my sport too?
Yeah, I've always been good. But I was a quarterback back then. So it was like I was really running the ball since I was young. So once I got 10 years old, I turned into a running back. And just been really running the ball.
So this past football season, how did you feel about your stats?
I honestly felt like I could have did better in some aspects. I mean, everybody sees it as awe and it was a good season, but I feel like I could have did better for the team, even though I was fighting through injuries and all that. But I still feel like I could have put up way more numbers than I did compared to everybody else.
You said you always feel like you could do better.
Always.
What was your biggest game from this season?
Semifinals versus Decatur. When I broke the in-game rushing record. It was 3:10 around that area. Yeah, it was halftime. I had probably half of that, and I had 2 touchdowns. And I got injured in the third quarter, so I was really supposed to go out, but then I knew if it wasn't for me, going back in, we probably would have lost that game because that was that missing piece that they needed. It was the game went downhill when I was out for the few plays, so I knew I had to get back in and push through for the team.
Was there any part of you scared of going back in? Because there is a possibility of getting further injured, and then you wouldn't be able to go to UPenn for football. Is there any part that was scared to go back in?
I really wasn't scared. I was more scared of losing than hurting myself again. I never really wanted to be 30 years down the line and be like, man, we really could have won a ring if I really would have went back in. You don't want to live in doubt. So I don't want to be one of those shoulda, coulda, woulda people. I always want to be that, well, I gave my all, there's nothing else I could have did.
Who is the senior player you are going to miss the most from that team?
The senior player, my man's Deuce. We call him Deuce. His name is Marquise, number 2 on the team. He was like the first person I started talking to when I came up here. That's the closest bond I got, and I'm gonna really miss him because it's like I got nobody to mess with up here now, so I gotta find somebody else.
What was your team's biggest strength and weaknesses?
Biggest strength was probably definitely the run game. It was real dominant because of the O line. The O line made everything happen. They was probably the best people on our team, and I wouldn't say I don't know who the weakness would be. Like I don't know. We had a little bit of struggle on the pass defense, but it wasn't nothing that was bringing us down. We was a pretty solid team all the way around.
That's nice. Throughout your entire journey of playing football, from 4 years old to now, just tell us about your coaches. Any ones that you really remember that really stuck with you?
I remember all of them from 4 all the way up to the last one. Because 4U, that's when I really started touching the ball. I wouldn't know if I was really good with the ball in my hands if he never gave me the chance. I was with him all the way till I was like 7, 8. I was still running the ball. I mean, that point of my life wasn't that significant. But when I started 10U, it was my Uncle Mike. I wasn't really the dominant back until he really motivated me to actually start scoring. Like, cause I used to like run the ball, fall on the 1 yard line, somebody else punch it in or whatever. But he was the person that really motivated me to actually start scoring. You know. Then when I turned 11, that's when I actually started playing defense for real. Yeah, Coach Brandon taught me how to tackle. I wasn't really those aggressive guys that like go out and hit somebody real hard, tackle 'em. I was always scared, but he put it in my mind to go out there and really hit somebody, make the tackle, and I became a better athlete back then. Then 14U, it was another thing. I was just running the rock, Coach Brian. So I remember all of them. They all put something in me that made me the person I am today.
Did any of them, the skills that they taught you, give you any like real life tips as well?
Real life tips. It'll real life tips. They all taught me how to be disciplined and really like push myself to really be a better person. Because football always translates to real life. It teaches you like skills that you can take over to the workforce, like being disciplined, knowing how to listen, all types of stuff like that.
Can you describe one of the best moments from this past season?
This past season, probably winning a ring. The whole season that was the goal, was to win a ring. We knew we could do it, and we had to push through all the way to the last seconds of that game. That's why the celebration was so big. Everybody was happy and crying because it's been too long since they won.
How long has it been since they won a ring? For those of us that don't know.
Yeah, it was like 35 years ago, 1987, when my coach was playing, Coach White.
Nice. Who are we gonna have to keep an eye on that team in the next season coming?
Well, all the returners for sure, but I know my boy Monte, he's gonna have to step up. He's one of the next running backs that's gonna have to replace me. It was sad that he couldn't play last year because of some reasons, but I know my boy Monte gonna step up and be the back they need. And I know Purdy gonna still be the dominant quarterback.
Is there any tips as far as the recruiting process that you can give to the returners coming back?
Stay patient. They're gonna come. A school will find you. The school that needs you. Keep your grades up. That's pretty much all you need.
Do you have any suggestions on how we can better help advocate for our athletes who need to get more exposure?
Make sure you use Twitter, because that's where all the coaches at. Yeah, you got to really promote yourself, really sell yourself on the internet. They gonna find you because even if you have to annoy them, they're gonna keep pumping up on their feed, and one day they're gonna see something that they like. They ain't gonna be like, "Oh, we gotta keep watching this kid." And then when the season come around, you show it in game. Because all coaches do, they look at end game film. They don't care about training vids. They don't really care about none of that. They want to see end game film. So if they see something that they like, they're gonna pay attention, and then soon enough they're gonna come talk.
So other than football, when school is not in session, what are your hobbies? What do you do during the downtime?
I train. Like all I do is really train. Other than that, I play the game. I try to go out with my friends sometimes. When it's available. The weather now isn't really trying to let us. You know, but yeah, my man's PJ. That's my boy. He's practically a brother to me because we've been with each other for like since I was 11. So I'm 18 now. So yeah, we got 7 years in counting. Yeah, that's my boy. I don't think nobody really believed in him because I was like really the one of the only ones training with him back then. But now, since like everybody see my success and his other athletes' success, everybody now want to train with him. So
Nice. So it's just training and football all the time with you. I appreciate you for taking the time to sit down with us and letting our URA community to learn more about you. And you had an amazing season this year, and we look forward to seeing what you do at UPenn.
thank you. I appreciate it. Anytime,
Of
anytime.
course.